Welcome back to the SSL Challenge for our final series of the night. It's been a long season. It's been a lot of great games, but it all comes down to this.
It's weird. I wasn't thinking about it. Now you're making me sad.
Oh, this is our last series, guys. Aww. This is pretty cool. You know, we've got an offline event here today. We get a huge crowd. They're pretty loud, and I think you guys can hear them. We've got our Korean casters up on stage. We're doing a lot of giveaways as well. So there's just a lot going on here as we culminate everything.
Yeah. This might be the last time you guys see us wear these weird outfits
That's
that
true.
we do
I'm
for
gonna
Challenge.
miss these wacky sock days.
Yeah.
But
it was just our one day to let go, you know? Why spend all 7 days wearing the same boring outfit? You might as well just throw all the fashion rules out the window and say, hey, I'm going to wear piglet socks on the broadcast because I can. And
one of these days, we need to do like a no shoes broadcast and just have like toe socks and wiggle them around as we get excited.
I like that idea. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. We'll see. But this has been a pretty cool season. And we do have one final series. And what a way to go out. We get a chance to watch what could be like an SSL or GSL finals. Now, for soO and Byun, this has kind of not been their year. For soO, he got knocked out before he was able to reach his finals appearance, which a lot of people just sort of took for granted. For Byun, he actually lost out on BlizzCon because he didn't qualify for this GSL Super Tournament. So, you know, it's been a little bit of a tragedy for both of our players, either of whom could be one of the strongest players in the world if they're playing up to their level.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, there's only a certain number of spots, right?
Yeah.
You might be the best player in the world or one of the best, but you actually have to perform. I saw there was a post on the StarCraft Reddit about how, you know, people were sad that Byun wasn't going to BlizzCon, obviously. So someone laid out all of his results, and they were like, look at what he did, guys. Like, he lost to this great player here, this great player here, this great player here. He tried his best, but he got stopped in one place or another. And what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very competitive for a reason. So.
I mean, sometimes when you try your best and you don't succeed, well, we know how that goes. But for Byun, he does at least have one kind of swan song here. Now they're voting on...
It's still the same thing. Who is the least interesting caster today? And they always vote for the middle guy, the host.
That's so troll.
Everybody's in on the same troll.
So they update it during the games, and then they keep checking back to see if people have gone to the SPO TV Games Facebook page and changed which caster they think is the worst. So sad. Oh, well.
I feel like they were getting a little bit emotional, like, oh, this might be the last time, you know?
There's no chance to redeem yourself. You just go out on the bottom. So let's talk about our two players for our final match of the night. Our final match of SSL Challenge Season 2. This is soO, and he has had a pretty good season. You know, the numbers look good, 3 wins, 1 loss, but his games have by and large been struggles.
Yeah. I mean, we always call him like super consistent and fantastic, but he's still looking for that title. Still in SSL Challenge, right? He wants to make it to Premier, at least for next season. Byun, another guy who does want to, had his own disappointment, not able to go to BlizzCon. You guys got to think about how he feels. He actually looks a little bit sad today, too.
Hey, he is busting out the Rockets shirt again.
Oh,
so bringing it back. Been rocking that pink a lot lately. He has the same record that soO has, but he does have more game wins, so he is higher in the standings. And I believe, especially if he wins this match, then he will get out of SSL Challenge in first place and get a direct seed into the next season of SSL Premier.
Yeah, so we got our map list here. Overgrowth is going to be first. That is a soO favorite. Always loves to bring that in, and because Byun picked it down at the bottom, it will be first as well. So
that's going to be it for our player introductions, our map choices. Now all we have left to do is play possibly 5 games of StarCraft, and that'll be it.
I think it'll probably be 5 games. I mean, it's Byun versus soO, so I mean,
we could go all the way.
We had super close games for Impact Rogue. We had super close games for Bunny Jockji. I thought both of those were going to be very one-sided. So maybe this is the series that's a 3-0. Maybe Su just like
I hope
crushes
not. What an anticlimactic way to end. But
Yeah.
I mean, these two are two very fantastic players, and I would expect very good games from them, especially if their fans cheer for them.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
you guys.
That's the way it goes, of course. They only play as well as many cheers as they get. So.
That's true.
You have to do that. But so much on the line for this, right? The winner of this one goes out in first place, and they go up to SSL Premier. So it's just one best of 5 to decide your last spot into Premier. And so both of these guys, they don't want to be playing at 10 p.m. They don't want to be playing in Challenge. They want to go up to the big leagues, play in Premier.
Well, it is 10 p.m. right now, but it's the end of the day here. Either way, we have a great final match of this season. It's soO versus Byun in a best of 5.
Fly, butterfly.
Jin L.
Yeah.
There we go. Our purple Zerg player in the bottom left-hand corner. It's soO.
Getting a big cheer. Even though some people have left just because of how late it's getting here, they're still even louder than ever. And there's actually like a huge crowd around, I think that's Bunny over there. So maybe a lot of the audience are still standing up. Looks like Kanata got his own cheer. He stood up and bowed for the audience.
Now we're cheering for each one of the Korean casters over there. This is hilarious. Okay, all 3 of them get their cheers. Big fan. Where's our cheers, Valdez?
They, you know, they were cheering for us, actually.
I'm gonna cheer for myself here. Go Rapid, you're the best. There, I just cheered for myself.
Wow, you actually posted that in the chat.
We gotta have cheers somewhere.
Yeah.
If you guys want to cheer for Valdez, you can do that either in chat or by following him on Twitter at Brandon Valdez with an S.
Brandon Vladez, actually.
Yeah. I actually looked up that account, and Brandon Vladez does not exist. You can
okay.
You can still take your real name.
There you go. This says, Byun,
Go, Byun. Go.
you've suffered. You've worked hard over the course of 2017. Go, Byun.
This is crazy. We're just going to get cheers for everything all game long. We should talk about at least maybe the openers. There's only one hatchery being built, so we're not going crazy 3 hatch early or anything like that. Zergling speed about halfway done as the natural completes. On the other side, we just do have that easy 1 racks expand and now teching up after that. So nothing too crazy on either side, but that's an interesting place to hide your Zerglings.
Maybe a delayed scout.
Yep.
I doubt he's going to try to, like, Baneling anything. Not this early on. Doesn't even have a Baneling nest. We do have a fast starport here from Byun. This is kind of the way that TVZ goes nowadays. But he is making Marines. He's not reactoring Hellions, so...
That is different than what we're used to seeing. Also, just want to point out in chat that everyone is cheering for you, Valdez, so...
Yay!
Got a lot of love. And now no cheers for Rapid. Wow, no love, you guys, but...
well, you got a lot of cheers, too.
That is very true. I actually do really enjoy the somewhat platonic relationship we have with our chat. Sometimes symbiotic, sometimes parasitic, but you know, it gets the job done. Oh, 6 split there. The Zerglings head in opposite direction. They just bounce off each other, but unfortunately the wall is still up at the main, so no deep scouts there for soO.
Yeah, so this will be some kind of drop with the extra Marines that we did have come out, but might just be a Hellion drop. This is going to come in and see the Reactory, but also the Tech Lab-less starport.
Right, and so that means there's no Cloak Banshees, but a Spine... No, but more Zerglings on the way here. Both Queens about to pop out, and so soO should be okay enough to hold on. Now, of course, behind this, you have to see the Armory about halfway done completing, so there will be Hellbats in the future. Is that Zergling going to kill a mule? Ooh. No. Wow, that was a pop.
Close.
Zergling exploded. Okay, the Queens to push the medevac back, and yeah, just hanging on here. That finally, I guess a tech lab was added onto that starport, so Cloak is now on the way.
There you go. Just took a little bit longer.
But he's supply blocks,
follow up,
so he can't build the Banshee.
He's making 2 supply depots. Not the cleanest opening we've seen, but here we go. Third base is up. There's not much ready here for soO. He made that spine crawler, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were cheering for Mr. Spine Crawler, but so far he hasn't been having too much effect in this game. He might be able to snipe the third here.
That's a lot of damage. Now, using one of the Hellbats to tank, I thought he was just going to use the rest, but there's a run by on the other side, and here we go. soO's Zerglings getting into the natural, and on the other side, there's a drop with Hellbats. It's also dealing damage.
This game is getting kind of out of control. I'm surprised that Byun only lost that little, 3 SCVs. Oh, this is going to be picked off right at the end, but he gets the Hellbats out.
He does unload them both, so there's still drones being roasted up. And actually, soO sent the drones back to the base maybe a little bit prematurely, but wow, so many low health. But in the end, it's way more workers for soO.
Yeah, so I feel like overall a failure in the pressure that Byun put on. He needs to come in here and follow up and do some extra damage, but already Spores on the way. The extra Queens that soO had from early on in the game have just been doing work for him so far.
Yeah, he is he's completely airtight, watertight. Nothing getting in here. Gas, solid, liquid, no. Cannot penetrate soO's defense. There's a Cloak Banshee. He's like, oh, I killed 3 drones. But that's about all you're going to get, man. And these are 3 relatively unharassed Zerg bases. They're pumping on about 55, 60 drones. And, okay, you can come in and kill a couple, but not a lot of damage being done.
Yeah, poor Byun trying to make it work, but soO just too good on the defense. And all that while going for his own counterattack. It's not like he was using all the Lings to help defend. He was like, no, Lings are kind of useless against the Hellbats in this number. So I'm just going to use Queens and a Spine Crawler, and it's going to work out.
I think Byun might be a little bit far out here on the map, maybe trying to deny a few creep tumors here and there, but still getting a few pickoffs here with this Banshee that is on, what, 2 kills right now? The other one has 3, so hey, damage being done. This is actually starting to mount up.
Nicely done by Byun. He keeps everything alive. We always highlight how important that is for all of these harassing air units, Banshees and Oracles alike.
Oh, wow, this is so annoying. Okay,
it never ends. soO, I mean, I feel like he felt like, okay, I've defended it, and then he forgot about them. And now it's just 1 Queen, 1 Spore against the Banshees, and they're able to get all of these, like, they're like scraping kills off the bottom of the barrel right now somehow.
They really are. Byun not paying attention to one of those Banshees, but still one more survives, and I mean, the persistence prevails. Or, yeah, I guess that's what persistence does. And it's getting a lot of damage on 13 drones in total.
That's quite nice.
I mean, still, you have to look at the worker supply and just see how many more there are for soO. He's held on. I mean, Banshees might be able to kill a few of your workers, but they're not going to be able to stop you from just macroing out of control.
And, okay, so Byun, he wants to continue with this pressure. You can see that soO, he's saving up, and as I say saving up, he's actually supply blocked. But he was saving up for a bunch of mutas that he wanted to make right away, but he can't because he is supply blocked.
Yeah, supply blocks on both sides, kind of hindering these big timings. Finally, here come 8 Mutalisks on the way, but strong push in to deny this 4th. Taking damage is really only Queens, but now finally the Zerglings will come forward. soO decides not to commit.
And not to cancel either, okay. Going for the wall here. And it's lowered.
They run right through.
He's going to get some kills here. Wants a little bit more in the mineral line. Gets 5 SCVs in total. Bunch of Marines,
That could have been way worse, especially with the wall being down, but hangs on. Now, finally, all these mutas have popped here. So this is soO's big army. This is his big chance. Can he run over Byun out on the map?
He wants to snipe the medevacs, so it's a little bit not good about doing that. Gets a bunch more kills over at the 3rd base, actually. Gets 7 in total.
Yeah, that was including the 5 from earlier, so not great Banelink connections. But the big victory here for soO is sniping those medevacs. Now, as long as he's able to hold on here in the main and doesn't take critical losses, like if he has this upgrade snipe, can you transfuse to protect it? No, he's going to lose that +2 armor.
Might lose the +2 attack, too. There are a bunch of Lings coming in, but he's not attacking. He's not using them.
Oh, transfuses to try to save it. No, both upgrades get sniped out.
Man, these two guys are so good.
Oh, no, here we go. More Banelings.
Okay, he's going to get 4 more kills. Only 2 of them snuck by this time. It's just nonstop harass on both sides of the map right now.
I love scrappy games like this, Valdez.
Oh, yeah.
Even though still in the end, it feels like soO is getting the better trades.
Somehow, some way. I mean, he lost both of his Evo chambers, so his upgrades are going to take a pretty massive hit.
Right.
But other than that, he kept all of his units alive, you know, and he keeps killing the units that Byun sends over. He's kept his economy strong. He finally secured a 4th base.
Where's the next 2 Banelings that just roll in? That's what I'm waiting for.
I feel like the Observer is really being taxed right now. He's like, oh, I just expect something to come out of the left side, like the Banelings are going to teleport behind the mineral line or something.
soO's doing it again. He's just running by these tiny little groups of Zerglings. Oh, does stack 1 to take the Widow Mine hit. And there are Widow Mines way out on the map as well as with Byun's army. So he does have those on that side. Scanning this 4th base. I think that is where soO is most vulnerable. So it's the direction Byun is heading.
He's looking for it. He identifies that the 5th base is up too. Look at how far out this creep is. He's going for it. Baneling's moving forward.
The mine's actually a little bit slow to burrow, and so they won't get their shots off. This is going to force Byun to head all the way back home.
Just forcing out the stims. That's a pretty nice Widow Mine shot. There's one on the right side, but it hits that one Ling that came around the right. What the hell?
And now there's the army supply is just kind of plummeting here. Now, eventually these medevacs will get taken out, and there's just not a lot on the ground left to defend for Byun. No! The Banelings keep rolling on in and take out 9 more SCVs. But the big story are these mutas.
The humanity, man. He took out that fight. He took that fight so well, soO, and now he's on the production. Banelings rolling into SCVs. Byun now down to 43 workers.
The Marauder pops out right underneath all the Mutalisks. As we all know, Marauders can, in fact, not shoot up, so it won't be able to help him out there. Even the Zerglings don't really care about that. There's this tiny, paltry, motley crew over
so
here.
Low, too.
Yeah, they're not going to stand up to just about anything. The Zerglings get taken out by a cheeky Widow Mine shot, but Byun is in tatters.
30 workers, and he's losing more at that. It looks like the Mutas have sustained some incredible losses, though. He's remaking them, but...
I mean, Byun has 24 workers,
yeah, so... yeah, you take a look at the supply, and it's like, well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, but look at all the losses in this game. This is only 12 minutes in. We've already gotten over 10,000 minerals for both of these players. And soO, he doesn't want to stop the pressure. He's continuing with this.
This is just remarkable to watch Byun hang on with like 0 units. He's still able to push soO back. He has almost under half of soO's worker supply. His army supply is way underneath there as well. But finally, the Banelings will roll forward, and I think this might just be the finishing blow.
Got some more Marines on the left side. He's still alive somehow.
This is insane. Okay. Can't count Byun out just yet. soO's just like, what do I have to kill this guy?
That's in the way. It's like regenning as he tries to kill it. It's blocking his gold.
There we go. The gold base is coming up. Finally, the Marines come forward. I think that's the death throws. soO takes out Byun in game 1 of our final series.
And nicely done, Byun, man. He looks pretty beat up, actually. I thought maybe I was just imagining it after game number 1 or before game number 1 started, but he doesn't really look in high spirits nowadays.
I feel like SSL challenge specifically for Byun has been a little bit heartbreaking. I'm sure he's also dealing with not going to BlizzCon this year and kind of struggling a lot more than I guess his fans would have wanted to. I mean, you know, it's hard not to love Byun. He's got great charisma, his attitude, his emotions, just fantastic. But you do really, that's why you watch Innovation play. And I mean, sure, he wins GSL finals and he's just standing there holding the trophy like, yeah, no, I have to take pictures.
He's like looking off into space, like, I wonder
saw
what I'm going to spend this on.
I saw those pictures, but like at some point, that emotionlessness kicks in and is a really big asset when you have to keep cool and calm under pressure. And Byun definitely seems to be kind of cracking a little bit.
Innovation's got his own personality style, I'd say. In the beginning, people were like, oh, well, he's just one of those, you know, he doesn't really show too much personality, too much emotion, but he does it to such an extent where it became his thing, where people, he got his own nicknames. It's pretty cool, you know. And the same thing happened for soO. I mean, his play is fantastic. He's super consistent, but also he's got his own like personality thing where he's like angry soO, right? Anytime he gets behind or he's having a rough week, he gets knocked out of GSL, he comes into SSL Challenge and he bops nerds like no other. So
definitely getting that vengeance on. Well, he might have his opportunity here against Byun. He's up 1 game. It's a best of 5. We'll see if Byun can rally the troops, make a comeback.
Got to rally those Marines. Hopefully he can go for an opening that's a little bit more consistent. But we'll have to wait and see. Let's jump on to set number 2 on Abyssal Reef.
There we go. We figured it out. Here we fly better fly. We're not going to be fly better flying much longer, Valdez.
I know.
This is soO, our purple Zerg player.
And down at the bottom right, it is Byun. Just chilling. Still got his pouty lips on. See if he can turn that frown upside down.
He's going to have to. If he wants to take this series, let's see what our fans in the audience have to say.
If you want to go to the finals of BlizzCon, then you have to win today. soO.
That fan doesn't know that this doesn't award WCS points, so he doesn't actually have to win today. But
it's like false, you know.
That's some fake news out in the audience, guys.
Yeah.
This little guy with a telescope.
I'm not sure exactly. He's probably doing one of his little bits, but
I don't know. We've got some S-tier fan signs out here. The entire front row, there's a guy with a camera whose job is only to show fan signs. So we're probably going to be getting a lot of those on our final day here.
Yeah, there's like 7 people with fan signs just waiting, but only a certain few can be selected.
We lucky, we few.
You guys should be the fans that are so passionate that you're making fan signs every day.
You're sitting in front of your computer at home. Yeah. You got a fan sign, you're holding it up, just really hoping that we look through your monitor and see your fan sign.
Well, we don't have the power, but certain other government entities, I'm sure, do.
Yeah, there's a government agency just for looking at fan signs. So they're going to help you out, guys.
Byun is on the hunt, trying to find whatever lings he can, but they're up in the top right.
It's Waskaway Zerg wings. gotta hunt him down, but he was unable to find them to ferret them out.
I wonder if soO's going to get aggressive at all in any of these games. Game number 1 was just make extra queens, spread the creep, drone up as much as possible, be as safe as possible, and play the most standard ZVT of all time on Overgrowth, which is the map that he picked. But I don't think Abyssal Reef is going to be the map where he goes super aggressive, unless he wants to catch Byun tripping and maybe going a little bit too aggressive or too economical with like a fast 3rd CC. But Byun is not doing that.
Hope this is melee Byun, not brawl Byun. No tripping in our games today. Nice micro on those Zerglings trying to surround the Marines. Wow! He actually missed controls there and winds up taking a lot more damage. Even still, will take down an SCV as well and get out with 3 Zerglings.
Byun comes over here, does scout the 3rd. Trying to kill that tumor. He might be able to. It's regenning and is very close, but he doesn't get it. Zerglings on the chase.
These are those same 3 Zerglings. They're going for the and one. Those must have like the most kills of any Zerglings. Oh my god, he almost kills the Overlord as well, but saves that too?
The Reaper with the mind games. It's still on the cliff.
The mind games as well.
Ooh!
Yeah.
That's a spicy one.
You're stealing my goofy laugh, man.
You know, when you cast enough with another person, you eventually...
I knew it would catch on.
Yeah.
Look at this. This Widowmine really wants to be inside that medevac, but he, actually is deciding to split off.
He's got other thoughts.
He's going on his own. He's going to make his fortune in the world. She's trying to drop the Widowmine out, but he doesn't have it in the medevac. I'm guessing that was on purpose, but the Widowmine coming around the long way towards that 3rd base. Underneath an Overlord.
I mean, it's scouted for days here. Just hoping that soO isn't looking as he's attacking. There's not enough drones here. He's going to get like 1 kill. The tension is rising.
Those drones don't even know. They're mining from the lucky patches. This is like mining patch roulette. Oh, he saved it by morphing it just at the last second. Or is that what those 2 kills are from? I don't know. There was an attempt.
We will never know.
An attempt was made.
Yeah, r/, there was an attempt.
I love that place, man.
Posted
it's like the story of my life.
Now it's Hellion's turn to come in here, do some damage, but there are queens and lings in position. Oh, still alive.
Oh, ye of little faith, Valdez.
I know.
The Widow Mind prevails.
Look at this little play. Cheeky 6 Marines. These are the Baneling sniping Marines.
I mean, oh, he actually saves those 2 low health ones on the front with that hot pickup.
Yeah. Damn,
Byun is so good. That's that spot where Byun likes to kind of tuck tanks on an aggressive push there. Here come these Hellions roasting everything in their paths. They finally do get taken out, but they kill off a lot of Zerglings. Even more of those drones going down, and needs to, yeah, there you go. Boosts on out, saves that drop.
Byun just does not want to stop the harass. He does all this while getting a 3rd base back at home. And it looks like this time soO wants to take a different approach in terms of his tech. Is going to go Hydras here.
I mean, when you think about playing on Abyssal Reef, when you build a unit that has the word for water in its name, you kind of got to go with that, right? Hydro.
Yeah, but it's not a Hydralisk.
Well, that's because in Spanish, if it's female, it ends in an A, so these are female.
I didn't realize that
female
Zerg
water.
speaks Spanish.
Yeah. Yeah, Hydras, not Hydros. They're female Hydras.
I see.
Yeah, that's
all
how you
Hydras
know.
are female?
Well, only when they're called Hydras. If you call them Hydros, then they're both male and water.
Whoa. Okay. I see.
Some linguistic gymnastics. I could be in the Olympics at this rate.
There you go.
Here we go, another drop coming in. Zerglings are in position, prepared, ready to go. Oh, look at him try to micro them, picking them up, but in the end, there's too much on the ground for the Zerg.
Non-stop harass. So annoying to deal with. Trying to get the second contingency of Bane snipers over here at the 4th base, but there's enough stuff there for soO.
Meanwhile, behind this 3rd base coming up, Byun looking okay. SU's not really been on his side of the map, so just kind of powering, content to build the strongest force that he can on his own. But at least Byun's being active. I love to see this, where it's not that the drops are being incredibly successful, but he's getting out there, shaving off drones here and there. You can see even on workers, which is a much better place for Byun than we saw in our first game of the series.
Oh, yeah. We got a wall being set up, but might be a bit late as the Lings are already out on the map and going in. So they're going to attack these SCVs, but it's going to give some time for the Widowmines to get in position. At least he can maybe cancel a supply depot. I guess that's all he's going to get.
All right,
here.
1 supply depot.
Nice.
There we go. But another big drop, this one accompanied with a Raven and Widowmines. The mine now just burrowing, mines plural, but oh man, how good are those connects? Huge hits on those mines. I'd love to see how many kills they did. How did that get there? There's just the little Marine that could over there getting her ass on. Marines trying to take out these queens. Nice transfuses. 1 goes down, more to fall. Nice control here, but the transfuses keep the majority of those queens alive.
Yeah, nicely done. I'm curious about that 1 Marine, though, in the main. Is it taken out? Looks like it was. Now Liberators are coming in. Byun is angry after game 1.
Feels like he wants to win a war of attrition, death by 1,000 cuts. He actually sieges deliberately over top of the Spore Crawler. It's still going to force a pull, so value added there. And 11 drones get taken out.
So he could bust that wall if he makes some Banelings, but he's scouted out. Marine, Marauder, Widowmine, Medevac is the composition here for Byun. And they do come out on the map. It looks like he might want to go for a 4th base here soon.
Yeah, it's being built in production.
Bad timing, though.
I was taking a look, and it actually looks to me like soO, he doesn't have a gas in his main. Like, he only has 1 gas in his main, 1 gas in his natural, and no gases at his 4th base. And for Zerg, gas is kind of the lifeblood, especially if you want to tech up and get these big gas-heavy units like, you know, a big Muta swap or lots of Ultras at the end. But I guess he knows exactly how much he wants. He busts through the first. No! Split. Okay, wow. That was remarkably anticlimactic, Valdez.
He's like, no, not you. I want the guy that murdered my family.
Oh,
here we
big
go.
hit. What's the lock on? Where's it going to go? There's actually not a great mind hit behind this. Needs to micro away from those Banelings. Only Byun, man, sniping down the Banelings before they can connect.
This whole game has just been so entertaining.
Right into the Baneling.
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, all right, that was funny. But let's not get it twisted. Byun still with a very strong bio force running up the middle, but with drops coming in on seemingly all sides.
Oh man, soO, he's really having trouble with this. I think once you engage that far off creep, without enough Banelings, you're really putting yourself in a rough spot, and he's doing it again. Really nice kiting here. There's not a lot of medevacs. Looks like a lot of them have been sniped out.
Look at that. There's a Marine, a medevac, a Marauder, and a Mine. Gonna go for the M&M.
There you go. These drops are just non-stop, man.
Yeah, no. Once you drop, the fun don't stop. I feel like that was a slogan for good Terran games.
I like it.
I mean, Hydras are defending the drops, so eventually soO is going to stabilize here, but he's still taking lots of damage. He's way down there in supply. Worker count starting to drop as well. And finally, he's even sending like the entire contingency of his army over there just to take out the last remaining shreds of Byun's drop forces.
Yeah, I can't believe that soO is still alive, but I guess he's got enough passion so far. Well, this drop coming in, and you can see soO's paltry force there up on the north is going to come in and try to snipe these out, but he's being run around the map right now. He's trying to go for his own counterattack at the 3rd of Byun, but looks like that has been stopped as well by the rebuilt wall.
Glad to see that Byun is at least, you know, making sure that there's no potential for soO to come back. Like, he did rebuild the wall, so lots of those Banelings are going to be used up. They just stop, like, we have no further purpose. We've broken the wall. That's all we can do.
This is it.
What is your purpose, Baneling? I break down the walls. Oh my god. All right, here we go. The mine. Nice bait. Mate takes out the Baneling and nothing else. But man, the drops just continue.
Yeah. I think that's eventually going to do it. I mean, we're 4 base versus 4 base. soO, he got a hive, but he couldn't use it. Just sustained too much damage from all of those drops. He wants to go for one final play at the 3rd base and try to break it in, but we'll see how that goes.
An empty medevac just speeds on through. These are some very overstimmed Marines, though. Getting a lot of damage done. This worker count still continuing to be shredded. And, the doomiest of drops being coming in here to the natural.
Yeah, it's only 4 medevacs, but it's very doom-worthy at this point in the game. All those Lings and the Baneling's going to be sniped out, and the rest of the army is going to go down here. soO.
Look at the blinding cloud. That's
wow.
a nice touch, and it does inevitably drive Byun back.
What a play!
Okay, I mean, that's one way to do it. It's not actually a way to do it, Valdez.
What a play! What a play!
Wow! Trying to come in here, there's a nice grab, except that there's nothing there to kill the medevacs. There's like 3 Hydras on the ground, and they can't take them out.
That was almost nice.
Oh my god, 76 Zerglings, or drones killed so far this game. That is devastation. soO just struggling to survive and hang on. And I mean, he has hung on for so long, but I think his time might be up, Valdez.
Looks like it. Marines and Widowmines in position. There's barely enough stuff for the Widowmines to hit.
Yeah, Byun just pulling soO apart. He's got drops in every single one of his bases. GG, Byun comes back and evens up the series.
Nicely done, tying it up. And soO looking a little bit more excuse me, more angry after that game number 2 as he did go down. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. He wanted to play the Ling Bane Hydra style, be a very defensive on Abyssal Reef, but Byun just pulled him apart. He looks so cool in that map.
There's this knife's edge where all these drops kind of balance on, and all of a sudden they get like 1, 2, 3 more kills. Byun had that one Widow Mine early that kind of ran around the side, and we're like, okay, well, that's not really going to do a lot. It stays there, and it gets like 4, 5, 6 kills, and you're like, oh, wow, then soO's not really dealing with all of this, and even the drops that came after that, Byun just always had just enough in the right places. So really well played.
Yeah. Right, but how's the facial hair coming? I see you're going for the beard.
This is probably my last week. This was like a trial run. I will say that probably, you know, second time's the charm on this one, but
I like the sideburns. Maybe you should just only keep the sideburns.
I don't know about that. It's really weird. I wake up and find out new ways that this looks terrible every day. So this is the maiden voyage of that, guys. So we get the final day of facial hair and the final day of SSL challenge coinciding.
Yeah, I gave it a shot too. I tried a mustache once, and then I saw myself on camera, and I shaved it that night.
Wow,
that was it. I didn't even wait until the next day. I'm like, no, this has got to go.
Well, if that's a subtle hint, Valdez, I think I'll take it.
I like the sideburns. I just said that.
That is soO, as you can hear from the cheers, and his opponent is still Byun on opposite sides. Newkirk Precinct TE.
Byun got angry after game 1. Now it's soO's turn to get angry. Are we going to see a roach play? A roach bust? Give it to me, soO.
I don't know about that. That would be surprising. I think Byun's probably pretty on top of the scouting to see what's coming his way. Byun has always been one of the Terrans that does do that, other than like, you know, like TY has been very notoriously bad at scouting. Sometimes innovation gets punished that way too.
Remember parting?
Oh God, that's a blast from the past. Actually saw him the other day. We
yeah, he's
hanging
chilling.
out. Yeah,
he's still around, guys.
Never forget.
Everybody's still around in one way or another.
That they are.
Not exactly sure what that means. A very generic statement.
That's one of those platitudes that you get away with, and eventually it becomes like one of those beautiful pictures that people post to Tumblr and act are profound. Yeah. It's like, wherever you go, there you are. I'm like, whoa. You can tell by the way it is. Like, okay, yeah. Thank you. I'm
yeah,
so
it's
glad.
like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, why, yes. Astute observation.
I mean, you can get the idea of what it means. It's like, yeah, it is what it is, and you can't change what it is because it is what it is. But it's just one of those. It's one of those things that you say when you don't know what to say. You know, I feel like I do this often, where I'm just like, yeah, it's true. You know, definitely, it is what it is.
Sometimes it is. There's that baseball player that says. What is that famous saying?
Oh, man. I always forget. We bring this up so often.
It's directly relevant, but now the time has passed.
Yeah.
We have to go back to talking about... Yeah, we missed our timing there.
Yeah. They got the bunkers up. Twitch chat is ready. It won't be funny anymore.
They're here to defend our memes.
Yeah.
We got to abort mission. All right, so third base up for soO, or on the way for soO. Let's see how far along that is, about halfway. The one scouting Reaper. Always seems strange to me to watch Byun build only one Reaper. Harkening back to the days of yore in which there were many more Reapers in our games, but don't see that anymore. And a lot of people are talking about, okay, this is one of soO's the last times you get to see Byun actually in an offline tournament in Korea. And you know how he got so famous for his Mass Reaper style. He was killing everybody, especially Zergs, with that style, but might have relied on it a little bit too heavily. That gets nerfed. His win rate in the matchup drops down, and all of a sudden, struggles start to form. So I don't know if that's necessarily to be considered, but certainly having to change up the strategy. You can see soO having a much easier time defending here.
No upgrade on the tech lab. It does get scouted. Means that there will be a Raven coming out here on the timing. He does see the Viking that kills him. Overlord couldn't look him in the eye as he shot him.
No.
Shot him in the back.
The heartless Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess literally because they're made of metal, but they have a pilot, so does that make them biological units?
The guy in the Viking is biological, yes.
Ah.
But, you know, just like in real world, even if you repair the pilot, doesn't mean the plane gets repaired.
That's true. I wonder if Viking pilots have parachutes. I guess not, right? Damn, that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Actually, aren't Marines, like, locked into their suits?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's fire bats. I forget, but either way, it is super hardcore, so this is not a children's game.
Yeah. I get the sense that a lot of the Terran units did not want to be fighting this war.
It's rated T for a reason.
Ooh, rated teen. I remember when that was a big deal.
No, I remember when my mom wouldn't buy me T-rated games when I was a kid growing up.
Whoa.
This is like when I was like barely almost 13. I was like, Mom, I want to buy this game. She's like, sorry, honey, that's rated teen. Because, of course, you know, these are non-politically motivated ratings companies that just care only about the kids.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's why like every 10-year-old on my block had a copy of Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yeah.
Except for me. I felt pretty bitter about that.
I think I was playing GTA 3 when it came out. Just watching my brother play as well. I don't know how old I was. I think I was like 13.
Those were the days.
The good old days. I think I turned out fine enough.
Had to go back and play StarCraft 1 instead.
Not a bad alternative.
No, it's certainly. Well, I mean, to my 11-year-old self, when I'm like struggling with my 12 APM, like, yeah, that was not my favorite alternative, but it was still pretty fun. But here we go, clearing out creep tumors out on the map and not letting soO get too much of a foothold. But this still looks a lot different than the game that Byun won. He's not everywhere dropping. soO has been allowed to pretty much just get up and ready, good to go on all three of his bases.
Yeah, soO will take the fourth up towards the north. He really wants to avoid being close to Byun, especially after Byun cleared out the creep up there. Returning to the Spire, which I do like, did work out for him in game one.
Yeah, I guess you normally associate mutas with guys like Byun, who was big proponent there. Of course, that was a little bit of a different time, but soO has shown a remarkable propensity to go for that that direction. He's still going to have good control to deal with a big ball of Stim Marines. There are a bunch of Banelings, but against Byun, I mean, you can't expect those to be as effective as maybe against other Terrans. Look at the control. Takes 4 of them out before the fight even starts.
So sexy. I mean, he doesn't lose anything, snipes a bunch of Banelings. If you don't have Baneling speed, you might as well not even use them against Byun.
No, he is really good at that focus. But as you mentioned, that Valdez Baneling speed does complete. So those Banelings will be rolling on out there. Now,
fast boys.
They are.
Tippy taps.
Well, I guess they don't tippy tap anymore because they're rolling everywhere.
That's true.
I don't know what the cute sound you make for Zerglings running, or for Banelings rolling around everywhere.
You gotta ask the Carbot guy. That Raven almost died. It's on 4 health.
Does save that, trying to focus down even more Banelings, gets that value. We haven't even really touched on the Hellbats that are roasting down on this 4th base. The Banelings will come through, but sadly they're not enough to take out those the Hellbats and will require additional assistance. But here comes Byun, really tenacious.
He's trying to do it. You notice that with the base positioning of soO, he's very spread out. And so Byun, he's trying to hit the north, trying to hit the south. The north and the south. Just do that over and over and over again.
Assimilator transfuse. You just really got to save that. I mean, to be fair, gas income when you're going mute is very valuable, so you don't want to have that taken out. But here's a big ball of Stim Marines trying to pressure into that 4th. It was saved from those Hellbats earlier. Byun wisely backing out.
Just going to keep some Banelings in position. Surprisingly not effective at times if the Marines drop right onto the Banelings.
Little do those Zerglings know, they are parked right outside a minefield. That could be a gigantic shot if we do catch it on camera, but might not be all that effective. In the end, on the other side, Byun is constructing another base. He's locked down his third base. There's a big wall around all of that. He's managed to control at least his side of the map and now pushing out to try to get damage done.
Drilling Claws on the way. Wants to commit to Widow Mines and even a Thor mixed in to help out against the Mutas.
That's pretty interesting. Will be very effective. I mean, it's lots of splash damage. This is the alternative to going to that Marine tank style, which sometimes can get run over by a lot of Zerg players. And I do love the Drilling Claws, like you mentioned, Valdez. It's going to allow him to reposition and not be hindered by how long it takes to siege and unsiege these mines.
I'll counterattack soO coming on in. He's got pretty much everything here. He wants to fight against those reinforcements.
That is so many Banelings. They are going to roll through and great connections inevitably. The mine hits, though, do take out the majority, but no, it's genocide on the workers. 15 going down.
Now we got Lings and Beans over here on creep, rolling on in. Even Byun having a bit of trouble microing against that.
But he does out-control the army, stays alive. Now, on the other side, though, this third base has kind of been ravaged. So Byun will try to get his own version of damage done on the other side.
Yeah, wants to snipe some drones, but 2-2 finishes up in perfect timing to help clear this out with just Lings.
The Zerglings still haven't been cleaned up. Wow, finally. They will get taken out, but I mean, these are empty medevacs, none of which will make it home.
Yeah, no boost for you guys. 3 mines now over here.
They're all just chilling, but the drops just don't stop. He actually is going to go for the Spire. So he doesn't want to throw away tiny chunks of mutas, so just going to whittle down and finally send the rest of his ground forces in. The drop will get picked up. The Spire is saved, and most likely that medevac not long for this world. Whichever world this is.
Yeah, he is pulling the mutas out of position, though. We'll see if he can strike in due time. Bunch of Widow Mines trying to drop down here with their Drilling Claws.
Run out of Marines, just got to bring the Widow Mines, and they will burrow in front. Marines and Marauders behind, but this is actually remarkably even. soO seems to be surviving, staying alive, and doing a great job of protecting that fourth base. Meanwhile, on the other side, I guess Byun is trying for a fourth base of his own.
Yeah, I would argue that soO is ahead here. I mean, he does have that hive on the way. He is getting 3-3.
soO's going to lose his command center at the fourth.
Or Byun.
Or Byun, yeah.
Almost.
soO just suddenly has a command center for no reason, I don't know.
But
yeah.
Yeah. soO, he's in a good spot. He has those upgrades. He has ultras on the way.
Yep.
And still no real answer for those. I mean, I guess he has Drilling Claw, Widow Mines, but they don't seem to be in high enough number just yet.
Wow, a little Zergling that could. Runs away. No, that's the worst thing you want to see as a Marine. There's like 7 Banelings morphing, and they will charge into everything, but nice pickup. Oh, he's going to drop them one by one to tank the Banelings before they hit the middle line. Beautiful control, but up top, it doesn't matter. So many Banelings rolling everything over. The Zerg swarm all over Byun's army, and it might just be all over for him.
Yeah, the Mutas sustain heavy losses, but it doesn't matter. Too much stuff on the ground. This is going to be surrounded. The 4th CC goes down, and Byun gonna have to hide with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, there's nothing to stop the Zergling flood. Almost none of those SCVs making it out. Just like 3 survive, and they will make it back to safe haven, but this is just so much damage being done.
By the way, ultras.
Yeah, also the ultralisk, pretty good. And that's going to be soO taking another game off Byun.
Back and forth. soO takes 1, Byun takes 2. soO strikes back. And man, I love whenever soO can just get his macro going, you know? It's, excuse me, I don't know what's going on with me. I guess I'm gassy, but Byun, whenever he can get consistent harass done, soO has trouble, but whenever soO gets 4 bases, I feel like he is just so far ahead and he controls it really well. His creep spread is really one thing that's helped him out a lot here in these games.
Yeah, the one game that Byun won, it's because he never let soO get to that point. Just constant drops everywhere, and that's kind of the style I want to see Byun return to. Otherwise, he is going to end this SSL Challenge season on a loss. Now, I still would have to check the standings to make sure,
I'm pretty sure that soO, if he wins, he's first.
Yeah, so
because they were all tied at 3-1. Bunny lost, and he's 3-2.
Right.
So both of these guys are the only guys that are up at 3-1. So whoever wins will take first.
Now it does matter about the set score as well, but I think wins is what matters first and most. So this is what probably decides which player will make it on, get the direct seed to SSL Premier. In the purple, it is soO.
And his buddy, but also his opponent, it is Byun. This is not Bunny.
No.
It's getting late here, guys. I say that, but actually it's
like
so much earlier
it's
than
almost
any
the
other
time
cast.
when we start SSL Challenge usually.
I'm like, I'm a little bit sick, and what other excuse can I come up with?
No Johns, Valdez.
No Johns.
Here we
Sorry.
go. Natural on the way here, so it's not an aggressive opener for soO. Nothing super crazy like that. I also want to see if Byun's going to stick to this style of continuing to reactor Marines instead of swapping that over for Hellions. I think that's probably the go-to.
Says, let's do challenge forever. I love you. And you are saved in my heart.
Aww. You're saved in my heart, Valdez.
Aww.
I
gave Rapid a little heart signal. You guys missed it. I had to verbalize it.
Kind of the feeling is starting to hit. I mean, this could be our last game of SSL Challenge, Valdez.
Could be. Or
Getting the
will we
feels.
go to 15 games on our last day?
I mean, that would truly be what a send-off, right?
Yeah. Everybody wants to watch as many games of soO versus Byun as possible.
Oh, no, I mean, this is sick. You're talking about asking me what my favorite matchup is. I mean, I could watch soO play against Byun like all day long. Now, ideally, I would want to watch them both like at the tip top of both of their possible performances, and it certainly seems like Byun struggling to figure out how to dent soO early on, because soO's just getting up to these like lockdown 3 bases. The 4th base is always something he seems to be able to protect, and Byun can't find a way in edgewise.
Frost is going to be an interesting one. I'm sure you guys remember Heart of the Swarm TVZ on this map and how
God.
crazy long it would go. But Legacy of the Void is a lot more fun. The 4 bases that you kind of get as a block as your home base are pretty easy to take, but because of the positionings, Byun can definitely harass pretty well. The high ground at the 3rd base, also Liberators behind the 4th, can be pretty hard for soO to deal with.
Yeah, lots of great positions those can get into. You know, we saw Ultras at the end of that last game, but we haven't seen late game really be what decides these games. It's always, hey, I just have too much stuff in the mid game for you to hold on against.
He came from Jeju, though, Jeju Island.
Wow.
I'm not sure whose nickname Tong Tong Pa is, but it just might be like kind of chubby onion. I think that's what that would translate to. And he said he was the best looking chubby onion. So I would assume that's Ikun, the host, but
okay.
I don't actually know. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think I've ever had a nickname like Chubby Onion, so I'm just gonna count my lucky stars on that one.
Oh yeah, not yet at least.
I'm gonna have to put in some work to
Don't
get
draw too much
there.
attention to yourself.
Definitely not. Well, here's the first drop for Byun. Hopefully not drawing attention to itself before it gets in here. The March of the Overlords. Or I guess it's the Flight of the Overlords. Ah, the 2 scouting Zerglings. Perfect timing there.
Does have a Spore, but it's late. Gonna drop those Marines. Look at the positioning. So nice. The Widowmine, though, actually kills a bunch.
A little bit of friendly fire.
Oh, and he accidentally burrows it again, so the Widowmine dies. Ooh.
Not sure about that one. Also, there's a random Zergling. How did that get there? It's like when you walk in to your house and you like kick your rug accidentally and something like crawls out from under you. You're like, oh my god, I didn't know that.
Ooh, yeah. Scary moments.
No, those
heart
are scary
attack
moments. Especially as it gets colder in Seoul. A lot of that stuff starts coming inside. No! Oh my god, it's terrible. The worst case scenario. And
the
now
stim.
The stim is on the outside and was almost canceled. That is
Yeah, but
That's
soO,
difficult.
he's not even playing for the late game. He's not even going for like stim snipe into fourth base transition macro. No, he's making roaches, and that stim is so vulnerable. I wonder if he can get there in time. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, he does have the roaches heading out across the map right now. This Hellion coming from behind. It's a cool place to harass from, but eventually it should get cleaned up, right? Even the drone's just going to take it out. And yeah, on the other side, here we go, trying to come in there and damage that stim. The roaches are about to hit. I think the stim will finish. But
it's going to be close.
Yeah, but that won't be so what close. Really... Oh, wow, that is actually a
Look at how close this is.
Farther along than I expected. I don't think that stim's going to finish, Valdez.
I think he can just snipe it. He has his roaches in position. He should just go in there. Okay, here we go. And yeah, that stim is going to be dead. If he just clicks on it, just click on the stim, please. Thank you.
Seconds away, but denied. So glad we can show that on the screen. Yeah, stim canceled. The barracks under fire. More and more corrosive biles coming down. And this looks good for soO.
Oh boy. I mean, supplies are so heavily in his favor because he made so many roaches, of course. But the pressure that he has on the map is pretty ridiculous. Byun is stuck in his base. soO even thinking about moving in there, but there's a tank, 2 bunkers, and liberators.
Just force the re-siege, pushing it back. Nice control there by Byun, does save it. And behind this, I love it. It's not even like soO is all-inning here. He knows he's got damage done. He has an insane amount of pressure, but he's just macroing.
That's all you got to do. He really hates supply depots. And so does our observer. Really just wants to see them die in the blaze of glory.
Pay no attention. On the other side, yes, soO here is able to scan and see that there's a lot going on back at home. A macro hatch in the main, a 4th base being taken, upgrades on the way. soO is just pile driving forward.
That stim, though, that is a sad stim.
This is going to be like the 10-minute stim when it finishes.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. It's the first time I've had to make one of those SSL noises tonight.
Yeah. Funny that it would be in this series, but...
I mean, this is looking like it could be our last series, Valdez. You know, we've seen crazy comebacks before. The reverse sweep in our opening game. Rogue versus Impact, that was super sick to watch. But it's going to take a lot for Byun to come back now.
Spore positioning is perfect. That Liberator pilot looks on longingly, hoping...
I wish I could siege there. Luckily, there are plenty of places for you to siege, Liberator pilot.
Queen, if it's focused down, would die.
Whoa! Oh! It is going to go down. Wow, so that means there's no anti-air here to stop. You would have to run that spore all the way around in order to stop that. But another Queen will come up here and should be able to take it out. Oh my god.
Unsiege.
Byun just perfectly on time with his unsieges. So I feel like this is kind of the consolation. Queen trying to glitch into the corner and take it out. This is kind of the consolation
He's just trying to speed run her way into killing that Liberator.
That's not how glitches work. This is not Super Mario 64. Or StarCraft 64 for that matter. Although I guess we do still have auto mining here. But trying to get in and get out, trying to bait out those corrosive biles. But this just feels like I said, like the consolation prize. Like trying to get in there and stop soO from being totally comfortable, but just might be a little bit too little, too late.
Yeah, he's trying his heart out. You notice that soO, after the pressure with the Road Ravager, he immediately transitioned and got a 4th base. It's gonna just stay on 4 bases for now. He doesn't really need his 5th base just yet. Would be nice, but he does have a macro hatch instead. So just going straight into Ling, Bane, Muta, and we'll be looking to overrun Byun in one fell swoop. See what he can do.
Oh, trying to pinch him against the wall there. The Marines are able to just barely sneak out, but Zergling's already on top. There are a lot of Widow Mines behind. How good are the connections? Oh, pretty good. They take out everything on the ground, but Byun lost a lot as well.
Oh, yeah. That whole force he wanted to push out with, he was like, no. So he was just like, okay, no, that's not happening. And keep in mind the Road Ravager is still alive. Looks like he wasn't bringing it with the attack, perhaps just to defend against drops, but now he's bringing everything over. And the Widow Mine's running straight in!
Oh no, if Byun doesn't have any splash damage here, that could spell disaster! Looks like the Marines are forced to run away, head for the hills. Mutas chasing everything. Finally, Byun barely able to hold on, but look at round 2. It's the reinforcements coming back from behind.
Banelings rolling on in. Widow Mines in the end will help clean up. But the game is not over.
The Korean caster is just like, okay, I guess it continues.
That's like literally what he said. He's like, oh, it's not over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's so often the case here for Byun. He's just always able to just barely hang on, seemingly forever. He is a little bit ahead on upgrades. He's going to have +2/+2 here completing. +1 vehicle plating as well, but those upgrades will complete here in not too long for soO. Yeah, Byun hangs on, right? But he's still down about 40 supply. He's down in workers, army, everything, and it's just going to get harder and harder for him to persist.
We'll see if that slight upgrade advantage helps him out, but I think he's about to get hit by the Baneling pile driver here.
Yeah, he's going to get struck by a smooth criminal right here. The soO effect in full effect. Now, oh no, the Marines, they will dodge the corrosive vials, which actually do catch some of the mutas, but all these circlings actually getting shredded. It's a great position for Byun to fight from. He is trying to evacuate. The Banelings rolling in. The SCV's taking massive chaotic losses, but Byun holds again, but for how long?
Still pretty ridiculous micro by Byun, but he's lost 13 SCVs this time. And even some more on his way out. soO continues to keep his mutas alive and even fight with them. And his economy's still going strong.
I mean, Byun has the 4th base up now. He's going to have all those mules. He's going to be able to get his SCV count back up. He's repairing that barracks behind it. You know, I am not predicting a Byun victory.
A Byun victory.
A Byun victory. Especially now that Swarm hosts are coming out. I think soO is just like, wow, what do I really have to do to kill you? Well, maybe free units is the answer. So,
well, they're really good on this map, especially at that 4th. Send them on over. Say hello, SCVs. You can do that with your mutas too.
Yeah, and there's the critical flaw. There's no turrets or anti-air or anything there to protect the 4th base. And now, oh, soO tries to come around from the side. Byun being very vigilant, catching those forces off. But look at the mutas. They're finally able to get in there.
Nice damage. And yeah, you were talking about lack of turrets and anti-air, where there's not much over here as well. And the muta number is just getting out of control.
They certainly are. A nice mine hit saves the majority of those Marines, but look at the mutas. Yeah, just dealing way too much damage. The Swarm host, the Locust, finally piling in. Marines actually do take them out very quickly, but these are SCV losses that Byun just can't sustain.
That he cannot. He's losing so much of his economy, and you guys can see it, the look on Byun's face. soO, it looks like he has done it in this one. He's secured 5 bases. He's got ultras on the way, whereas Byun doesn't even really have control of his base.
Yeah, and these Swarm hosts are just going to keep assailing that 4th over and over again. Not a lot Byun can do, but just helplessly hang on as long as possible. I mean, this is his final game in SSL Challenge.
Well,
oh no, he perma-stims his army, and with that explosion, that's it. Oyoung soO is your champion, taking out Byun.
And he qualifies for Premier, as well as we talked about before, in first place, and we will have an interview with him, and should be an interesting one. He doesn't look all that psyched. I feel like he should be, but he does take the spot, so interested to see what he has to say in his interview.
You might have seen our camera shake there a little bit. One of our assistant production directors is they have to grab the big stuffed bear that you see on the Korean cast and move it for the player that they're going to interview. And he was running headlong trying to move it out of the way, but then our camera turns on. He like stops. He's like, I can't walk in front of the camera with a giant bear.
He almost tripped.
Yeah.
That would have been hilarious, actually. If this
like
guy
just over the camera.
He like dives out and the bear flies through the camera. We're just like, I don't know what's going on, guys, but either way, we do have an interview now with soO.
네, 당황스럽죠? 다른 데는 좀 달라 있던데요.
아, 좋네요.
네, 열기가 있습니다.
How do you feel, soO? We're a little bit different down here. We do interviews a bit differently.
강력한 상대라서 질 줄 알았는데 그래도 좀 운 좋게 이긴 것 같아요.
아, 운이라뇨.
네.
어떤 운이 제일
Had a
좋은 것
tough
같아요,
opponent.
운이?
I thought I would lose, but I feel like I got lucky. I don't think that was the case.
제 스타일이 좀 잘 나온 것 같아요. 요새 힐링링이 좀 유행이잖아요.
네.
저는 괜히 따라하다가 많이 지는 것 같아서.
I feel like my style really showed in that game.
잘 먹힌 것 같아요.
좋습니다. 그리고 저희가
A lot of people are using Hydraling Bane,
인터뷰를 하게 되면 질문을 저희가 뽑아서
but
소개를 해드리는데
doesn't really go along with my style.
오, 이거는 우리 고인께서 한번 읽어주실래요? 짧지만 의미심장한.
So I have some questions for Sue.
한번 입으로 들어보고 싶어요. 어떤 말이에요? 네, 수장님 이번 블리즈컨 우승하실 수 있습니까? 수장님?
Hey boss, do you think you can win this BlizzCon? Boss has Sue in the beginning of it.
간 기운을 받으면은 또 잘할 수 있을 것 같아요.
어윤수의 블리즈컨.
I wasn't very confident these days, but now that I have qualified for Premier, I think I can do it.
이번에도 질문이 어윤수 선수 SLSL에선 콩라인 벗어날 수 있을까요? 질문이 다 똑같네요. 이런 질문들이 올라왔는데 이거는 방금 전 답변으로.
So do you think you can not get second place in the SSL? You think you got an opportunity here in Premier? Can you please not get second?
굉장히 심플하면서.
Well, he was going to, and then he got first instead.
어윤수 선수에게 제일 좋아하는 유닛은? 어윤수 선수가 제일 좋아하는 유닛은 뭔가요? 이 질문인 것 같아요.
Sue, what's your favorite unit?
이제 예전에는 타락기를 제일 싫어했는데 기술이 생겨가지고.
I used to hate Corruptors the most.
발사하는 그 스킬이 생겨서 좀 지금은 좀 좋은 것 같아요.
타락기.
어락기예요, 어락기.
But after their skills got patched in, I feel like they're pretty good now.
오늘 그
Corruptors would never have expected that.
여기 와주신 분들께 감사의 인사 그리고 TV를 통해서 시청하시는 분들께 이번엔 진짜 우승하겠다 각오 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
사실 저는 챌린지가 더 좋아가지고.
So Sue, can you tell the viewers how you feel
남고 싶었는데.
네.
after getting first here?
표정은 아닌데요.
I actually like challenge. I kind of wanted to stay.
올라갔으니까.
I'm very disappointed that I won. Biggest troll. I made it up, so please cheer for me in Premier and continue cheering for the guys that are left in challenge.
죄송하다는 말씀 드릴게요.
Sue says, I don't know if you're raising these mosquitoes, but if you could get rid of them, please. I would like to second that motion.
You guys think it's a joke, but one actually just flew in front of the screen right there. You can see it. There are a lot of mosquitoes here. I don't know why or how, but even Sue notices the SSL mosquito. That's going to be it for our interview with Sue, who for a second there looked like he was doing the socks and sandals thing as well. But
he's got some nice socks, though.
He does. He is pretty fly.
Some flashy shoes as well.
I know, right? I thought only I was allowed to have the sick kicks, but no, Sue's got some of his own. So this is a look at how our final round of the SSL Challenge did come across. Impact getting reverse swept by Rogue. Bunny, a narrow loss there to Jakji as well, and then Sue 3-1ing Byun to close out our day.
Yeah, so we didn't go all the way to 15 games, but Sue turned out to be the kryptonite here for Byun.
The kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Hey, there you go. So
undead in here.
Well, the true victory there is Sue's. Congratulations to him for taking first place in the SSL Challenge. Here's the way everything looked at the end of the day. With that loss, Byun actually goes down to third place. Of course, Bunny took him out, so he wins the head-to-head. So that's the reason he is on top there. He also has one more game won and lost, so just a little bit higher up there.
Yeah, Sue makes it into Premier, and Rogue, after getting on in, he's fast lane day 2, so he will have a chance to, in fact, make it to SSL Premier, believe it or not.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is.
For Rogue, yeah, it's never too late, but I mean, this is the next big thing on the horizon. The SSL Premier 2017 Season 2 Finals. This will be next Sunday here at the Nexon Arena. It's in Gangnam, Seoul, South Korea, so if you can be here, come here. It's Stats versus Dark.
Hey, you guys thought the GSL Finals was good? Well, we got a PVZ this time around with Dark versus Stats, the two guys that couldn't make it into GSL finals on opposite sides of the bracket. Funnily enough, meet here in the SSL finals. Should be a fantastic best of 7. I think it's going to go to Game 7. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. So definitely make sure to watch SSL Grand Finals that are coming up. I know ASL is also going on this week if you want your fix of StarCraft Remastered. And the GSL Super Tournament returns in about a week. So there is a lot of StarCraft 1, 2, and otherwise out there. If you guys want to go pick up StarCraft 64, you can make that happen as well. I would advise against it. It's awful. But yeah, no, there's just a lot of StarCraft out there. And so whether you're watching, North American StarCraft and those qualifying tournaments, like, we just had DreamHack finish up in Montreal. We've got our international tournaments coming up over here. This is all leading up to one of the most stacked BlizzCons ever. So I'm just so excited to see which players make it there. We've got a lot on the line, both here in the end of the SSL Challenge as well as in the Super Tournament coming up. So lots of things can change.
So before we go rapid, who do you think is going to be BlizzCon champion this year?
BlizzCon champion, I mean, it's hard to root against guys like Innovation, TY. I'd say maybe Dark could do it too.
I'm going to say Dark is going to win.
Okay, it's a bold prediction, Valdez. We'll see if it pays off.
It's hard to make a prediction now, but I think there are clear favorites, like you were saying, Innovation, TY Dark.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. Stats as well.
I want to see top foreigners make it true. Guys like Neeb, maybe, Showtime comes in there and has the performance of his life. Cyril, I think, is actually coming out here to Korea to train in Seoul for a while before BlizzCon. So looking forward to seeing that guy. We just met Elazer, who's back out here in Seoul again at the GSL finals. So he's out here training as well. So lots of strong foreigners and, of course, very strong Korean players. So just really looking forward to seeing that. SSL finals, though, I think is the next big thing people should get excited for. Yeah,
it's going to be really close. Yeah. I think we all predicted Dark, but a pretty slim margin.
Yeah, it was like 4-2s, 4-3s, just like really close series. Yeah. So I think that could go either way. I'm just excited that we have completed our second season of SSL Challenge. Yeah. We did it. I'm glad that everybody out there watching was able to stick with us. If you've been watching this whole season, then thanks for sticking around. We're here on
through all of the fashion changes and weird shenanigans.
We definitely brought our A game here in the final day, Valdez. This is truly.
I saved my Piglet socks for today, actually.
I mean, that just must show how special they are to you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very special.
This is the first time you've worn your Piglet socks?
Yeah, actually, I think so. Or maybe the second time.
The first of many,
Valdez.
Second,
yeah. Definitely.
Many more to
I don't know if I'll wear them with sandals, but I'll wear them with shoes and other appropriate wear. But it was fun.
All right. So now here we are. We're going to announce who finally won the final poll for which caster
was the least fun.
And
it was
like
Ikun in the middle.
By far.
Or not in the middle, but on the left. In the middle of the whole setup.
Yeah. So now we get to punish this guy. That's why last week we saw this guy wash his feet on stream. Now there's a punishment for the caster that our fans thought was the least funny. So let's see what that punishment is. He has to get a makeover.
Oh boy. Right now?
I think
are we going to have the
makeup
artist come on stage?
Yeah, we're going to close out the series or close out the season with him getting a makeover. This is what we do on StarCraft shows, guys.
This is what we do for Challenge. Yeah. This is why this is fun and different.
SSL Challenge is, of course, much more laid back. We're super happy.
Is that the makeup that they're using?
Are they really just going to put it on right now?
That was like neon green.
Oh, gosh.
Why is he pointing at the bear? What are they going to do to the bear? Okay. Is Kanata going to give the makeup? I don't even know what's going on right now. Okay. Looks like some pink lip gloss, perhaps.
How much stuff do they have for him to put on? It just keeps coming. I think it might just be that. Is that the end? All right, well, this is going to do it for us while we watch our casters take their punishment. I just want to thank everybody else out there for watching us this season of the SSL Challenge. Thank you so much. We could not do it without you. And so we bid you farewell. Enjoy our closing. We'll see you next time.